Broadcasting from the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe, the man who once received a scar under his eye that remains there to this day due to a particularly hardcore game of tag. True story. That's not a joke, unfortunately, folks. Anyway, here's the host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Just to go along with that, Josh, I actually broke my left arm playing tag.
Oh, really?
I did,
hey.
Yes, and I lived to tell it. So.
Yeah, I think I got a concussion, but I don't remember.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, well, we are excited to have everybody here today. Today is our spring finale of What's the Score. We've been going crazy since December, and we realized, Game Master Scheibe, we need a break. So we will not be on the air again until June 12th. I'll be in Florida. Game Master Scheibe will be on Broadway or somewhere acting. So congratulations as well, by the way.
Well, thank you very much.
Also, if you would like to take a summer vacation on our show, why not visit our website, WTSSportsQuiz.com, or go to our social media pages to sign up for our sports quiz fun.
You can also find the show on demand on the Sports Podcasting Network, Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, The College Tailgate, Vavel USA, and The Sports Quotient.
Let's meet our panelists this week. First up, he is the voice of the Racine Raiders and a member of the Minor League Football News Hall of Fame. We should all bow in his presence. It is Don Wadewitz.
Hello, thank you for having me, Baxter, and looking forward to completely dominating this competition today.
I am excited to see what you can do.
Thank you. I worked on that for the last 2 months.
Nicely done. Next up, making his debut on the panel, he is a former football statistician for the Racine Raiders, Wisconsin Wolfpack, and so many more Chicago teams you never knew existed, Game Master Scheibe. He's also, and most importantly, a lifelong Packers season ticket holder. It is Paul Junio.
Thank you for having me back. Appreciate it. I'm also the best bowler your show will ever have.
I've heard you've gotten a couple of 300s as well.
Second one was this year.
Bowling looks really good on the radio, by the way.
Yes, it does.
I'm excited
really
to see.
Well.
I've never commentated bowling. I'll have to try it sometime. And finally, from the Big 920 WOKY in Milwaukee and the public address announcer for Marquette University and the Lakeshore Chinooks, it is Dan Pfeifer.
So I have my own embarrassing injury to add. I actually have a scar on my wrist that I got when a girl with her nail stabbed me swing dancing. So that's my story that matches yours. So
not your wife.
Not my wife.
Oh,
no. This was long before I met her. Proving chicks dig scars.
I got the swing dancing, baby. She's like, ooh.
Paul and I are embarrassed to be at this table at this point in time.
Hey, I've swung. That's how I met my wife, was dancing too. Anyway, but before we get to going on the show, we want to wish a belated happy birthday to you, Don. So, would you have a good birthday?
Had a good birthday, and now I know everything. I am the answer to the universe.
How old are you now?
I am the answer to the universe.
Fair enough.
If anybody gets that reference, they'll know how old I am.
42.
Oh, hey. There we go.
Awesome.
Fist bump.
Got it.
So he's the movie guy. He's the movie guy, not me.
So I'm movie. It's a
Hitchhiker's Guide.
What the heck? So today I can answer Don Wadewitz to everything.
Yes, and you're right. So you win. You said it first, so you win. So
actually,
congratulations.
if you answer Don Wadewitz to anything, anytime, you're usually pretty good.
True. Don Wadewitz is the man. He's a Hall of Famer, by the way.
Pick up the tab.
Well, it's time to get this show on the road, gentlemen. We have our first contestant game. Joining us on the phone to play Quotable Context this week is Simon Allen. Welcome to the show, Simon.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.
All right, Simon, you're going to be playing our first game called Quotable Context. Game Master Scheibe will read you 5 quotes from this week's news, and you must identify the context of each quote. Correctly answer 3 out of 5 questions, and you will win a What's the Score prize. If you do get stuck on a question, you are allowed to ask one panelist for help on only one question, so make sure you choose wisely. Are you ready to play, sir?
I'm just hoping that this appearance will not detonate all our careers right now. So, yes, I'm ready.
Well, we appreciate you risking your career for us. All right, here is your first quote, Simon.
Guess we should probably return this then, right, ESPN?
That was the Minnesota Vikings Twitter account this week responding to the claim from ESPN that who they actually thought won the NFC North last season and not the Vikings.
Oh, goodness. I have no, I don't know. I'm going to have to ask someone from the panel.
Okay, who would you like to ask? Would you like to talk to Dan, Paul, or Don?
Let's go with Don.
Don. All right, Don. How can you give Simon a hint about this clue or this answer?
So they are the smallest. They are the team from the smallest NFL city.
That is true. They are the team from the smallest NFL city. So the Minnesota or the ESPN Twitter account said the Vikings won the NFC, or it didn't say the Vikings won. They actually said somebody else won the NFC North. Who was that?
Can I go with San Diego?
No, that is incorrect. The Green Bay Packers, actually. The Vikings beat the Packers in the final game of the 2015 season to win the NFC North, and somehow ESPN seemed to forget that. It's all right. Still plenty of time. Here is your next quote, Simon.
I failed you, Simon. I'm sorry. I'm going to go take my lashings now.
The whipping post is ready, Don.
All right, here's the next one. It goes without saying, it's a tremendous honor. The prestige of the show grows every year. It's unbelievable.
That was wrestling legend John Cena after it was announced he'd be hosting what major sports awards show this year?
Ooh, I kind of know a little bit of wrestling because, goodness gracious, I actually know of John Cena, so...
He's a very nice guy, yes. So what award show is he hosting this year?
This year... the ESPYs?
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. The ESPYs. No doubt, I'm sure he'll find a way to have his theme song play when he comes on the first time. That da 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 da. I mean, he's John Cena, for gosh sakes. You can't see him though, but you'll know he's there. All right, here's your next quote, Simon.
Because I'm fast. They can't catch me.
That was Olympic sprinter Usain Bolt this week talking about his confidence of avoiding what disease that is causing a lot of concern ahead of the Rio Games.
Oh, that is very interesting because I was once compared to Usain Bolt.
Really?
Yeah. Well, running away from ex-girlfriends.
Okay.
I'd have to say that is the Zika virus.
That is correct. The Zika virus. Yes. What better way to get away from mosquitoes than just be faster than them? And Usain Bolt is confident. He said, hey, even if we go down to Brazil, I'm still going to outbeat everybody, probably break a new world record, and outrun Zika at the same time. Scientists are going, how do we get that in a vial so we can make sure people don't get sick? All right, here's your next one, Simon.
Okay.
We take this incident and the privacy and security of our employees very seriously.
That was a spokesperson for the Milwaukee Bucks after what event compromised all of the staff and players on the team this week?
Wow. I'm gonna. Oh my goodness, I don't even know because first, you guys, let's put it this way. I just figured out who the Milwaukee Bucks were like a couple of days ago.
We did too. Don't worry. Not many people here even know who they are.
I'm gonna get. Okay, I'm gonna get to something with like an email breach.
Yes, exactly. Actually, somebody tried to steal all of the financial data of the players. Actually,
that was a total guess. Yeah.
Yep. No, that was perfect. Yep. An email actually got sent to the Milwaukee players and staff on Wednesday night, and the franchise termed the issue as a quote-unquote serious security incident. They did take full responsibility for the employee distributions of the W-2 documents. It was an email scam, which apparently somebody was trying to impersonate the team president. I feel like if the team president is emailing you, first of all, that should be like, wait a minute. What's going on there? I feel like that would have tipped me off. Number one, be like, what do you mean you're the team president?
Some people are important, Baxter.
I understand. But the entire team and staff and everybody, though, I thought it was a little interesting. All right, here is your final one, Simon.
Okay.
No.
That was what recently retired NBA star that was asked this week if he'd considered joining the Inside the NBA show since he has a lot more free time on his hands now.
Wow.
Do you want to hear the quote again?
Yeah, please.
We have that much time. Can you give it to him again?
Yes, here we go. Here's your quote one more time.
No.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Thank you. I'll take a bow.
That was, and then here's your. Do you want the question again too, or do you?
Okay, so is there another? Do I get another? Can I get another hint, or
I can reread the question for you if you'd like. I can't give you another hint.
Okay. No, it's okay. I don't know much about the NBA at all because I'm a soccer guy. But there's a guy that wants to. There's an old NBA player that it would be okay for Inside NBA, and he said he answered back with a no.
Yes, yep. So
that what
there's
I mean? Okay.
somebody that literally that just retired from the NBA that people think would be really good to have on the show, but he literally can't even.
I couldn't. I'm gonna.
I will say this, Simon. Since you were out in California, he's actually fairly close to you.
But he's fairly close.
Even a soccer guy like yourself.
Retired.
Yep, even a soccer guy like yourself could appreciate his skills.
Oh, there you go. You give. Well, that's the only. Well, there's two, isn't there? Oh, wow. So
It is.
It's either going to be Kobe Bryant or Nash.
So which one is it?
I'll say Kobe Bryant.
Yes, that is correct. We got there. Game Master Scheibe, how did Simon do on our quiz?
Simon got 4 out of 5 correct. He's a winner!
Hey! Congratulations, Simon.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much for playing, sir.
Looks like we're heading to our first break now, but when we come back, our panelists will have their first crack at showcasing their knowledge of this week's sports news. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz.
This is your host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
And I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. On our break, we'd like to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, Ticket Liquidator. Ticket Liquidator is one of the world's biggest online ticket marketplaces.
When you call Ticket Liquidator, you can find sold-out tickets to the biggest events on the planet. They offer a huge selection of tickets at 15% lower cost than their competitors. Their fantastic call center has live agents available 7 days a week. Call them today at 855-839-7889.
Ticket Liquidator is a multiple award-winning company, including Deloitte's Fast 500's fastest-growing company in Connecticut. Call today and find tickets to the next big game. Call 855-839-7889 to have access to over 4 million tickets to over 83,000 events worldwide. That number again is 855-839-7889. Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Did you know that you can listen to us on a lot of different platforms now? Yes, you can. Go and check us out on Spreaker.com. You can download our podcast on Stitcher and on the iTunes App Store. You can also find us on thesportsquotient.com and on sportsradioamerica.com as well. Just about anywhere that you can look for great radio programming, you can find What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Go and check us out today and tell your friends.
Church twice already. I don't need that today.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. This week, our panelists are Don Wadewitz, Dan Pfeifer, and Paul Junio. And now, here's your host at the BLC Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. It is an honor to be here, especially in front of a Hall of Famer like Don. If you would like to be in the presence of a great guy like Don Wadewitz, we encourage you to come check out our website, WTSSportsQuiz.com. Come be a contestant and have some fun and just get to rub elbows with greatness.
Time now for our panelists to showcase their knowledge about this past week's sports news.
Mr. Pfeifer, we'll start with you, sir. Contestants on a recent edition of Celebrity Jeopardy made an unwelcome name for themselves after none of them knew the answer to what question about what notable NFL player?
Ooh, notable NFL player. It's interesting. There was a category earlier this week about ballparks, but that certainly has nothing to do with the NFL.
No.
Can I get a hint?
Yes.
Brilliant answer.
After they all found out the answer, they dabbed in appreciation for it.
I believe that would be a quarterback from the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. When they were all asked the question, there was literally dead silence. I believe it was all a bunch of people from like ABC News. Al Roker was there, Anderson Cooper, CNN, all those folks, and they all literally like stopped at their buzzers, like, I don't know. And then they all said together, like, we don't do sports. And then after that, once they heard the answer, they're like, oh, sure, we knew Cam Newton, but they did not give the point. Alex Trebek said, nope, sorry.
Well,
Can
the
we
next
say
one.
that to Dan, even though he got it right?
Say what today?
No,
yes.
sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, you got it wrong, you know.
All right, Don, the next one's for you. According to a new poll, 9 out of 10 Native Americans have zero problem with what commonly debated topic in the NFL?
The Washington Redskins.
Kickoff.
The Washington Redskins nickname.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. It's very interesting. The head of so much controversy for so many years, more so from people not that are Native American. A new poll came out recently, and it said 90% of Native Americans are like, it doesn't bother us. We're totally fine. And amazing. It's just the people in Washington, the people in the offices that are like, this is such a racist thing. And the people who are the race are saying, no, it's fine then. I'm a little confused why this is still a topic of conversation. Anyway, Paul, your first question for you, sir. Congratulations, you made it this far. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Thank you. Perfect.
Between these two.
Exactly. This week, Paul, we found out that what notable sports department store is finally going to close all of their stores due to bankruptcy.
Oh, and they can't even afford to pay the Denver Broncos anymore.
I know.
Sports Authority.
That is correct, yes. When it filed for bankruptcy back in March, the company said that it would close only 140 of its 450 stores. Fast forward to now, they are closing everything, unfortunately. Which is unfortunate because I always enjoyed going to Sports Authority, but Dick's Sporting Goods, they said, is really the big one that kind of overtook them. So.
I think the internet beat both of them.
I agree. Amazon is like, ha ha. Exactly.
I think Paul and I both beat Dan there. So
did you?
Yeah,
so you guys should get 2 points.
We didn't need a clue.
You didn't even give a successful hint, Don. By the way, what Hall of Fame are you in? You can fill in the blank on that.
Minor league football.
The Don Wadewitz Hall of Fame. I'm a Hall of Famer in my own mind.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. So am I.
Well, we're heading to a break. But when we come back, our second contestant will have a chance to identify some pretty fantastic teams. We'll show you what we mean in just a few minutes when we come back on What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. What's the Score would like to take this time to thank one of our partners, Vavel USA, the international online sports newspaper, for their support. Head over to vavel.com/en-us today as they provide professional reporting on all major sports in the USA. Follow them on Twitter at Vavel_USA and go like their Facebook page for prime access to the ultimate source for sports coverage on the web. We here at What's the Score are proud to partner with a terrific organization like Vavel USA.
Hey guys, this is Baxter, the host of What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. Want to take a minute to remind all of you to go and check us out on social media. You can find us on Facebook at What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, on Twitter at WTS Sports Quiz, and on Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz as well. And if you enjoy the whole hashtag game, like some of us like to do, hashtag goals, hashtag believer, hashtag, I don't know, I'm running out of hashtags. Anyway, use the hashtag What's the Score on Twitter and Instagram and check out some of the other exclusive content that we do as well. Connecting all of us one smartphone at a time.
Hello all and welcome back to the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. We have a fantastic panel here on our spring finale. Dan Pfeifer, Paul Junio, and Don Wadewitz. And they'll have the opportunity to show their prowess in just a little bit.
Oh, will they?
Before that, though, here's the host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Coming up, we put our panelists to the test in our Name 5 Panelist Showdown. If you would like to play our games on the air, why not visit our website at WTSSportsQuiz.com and sign up today.
Playing our next game is Sydney Giovinazzo. Welcome to the show, Sydney.
All right, Sydney, we've all heard of playing fantasy football, basketball, and other sports. Well, what would happen if someone took some sports teams and combined them with fantasy literature?
In this game, which we've shamelessly cribbed from NPR's Ask Me Another, all credit for this one goes to them.
We are not worthy.
We are going to ask you to identify sports franchises that share their names with things found in fantasy literature. Correctly answer 5 out of 8 questions, and you'll win a What's the Score prize. We are looking for the fantasy portion of the team name. However, if you know the entire team name, by all means, feel free to provide it. Remember, you can ask one panelist for a hint on only one question, so make sure you use your hint wisely.
Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, Game Master Shyby, why don't we give her... She does
She
have
has the cat.
She can ask the cat, yes.
Cat.
You can ask the cat as well, too. Game Master Shyby, can you give Sydney an example for us?
Certainly I can. If we said, this Florida basketball team is named for the supernatural arts studied at Hogwarts, the answer would be the Orlando Magic.
Yes, and the magic is, like I said, more so that end word is what we're looking for, not the full. If you know the full thing, that's fantastic. We'll clap for you. All right, here we go. Here's the first one. These enormous creatures won 3 World Series in 5 years, but they had to climb down a beanstalk to do it.
Giants?
Yes, the Giants. That is correct. You don't have to nod at me for approval. You can say it, yes. The San Francisco Giants is the name of the team. All right, here's your next one.
Cronus and Hyperion are among these parents of the Greek gods, which would make them excellent linemen for the volunteer state's football team.
What?
There's a couple clues embedded in there. So
She needs that in Spanish, please.
yeah.
Seattle what? Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. One more time for our Game Master Shyby. If you can manage so.
Cronus and Hyperion are among these parents of the Greek gods, which would make them excellent linemen for the volunteer state's football team.
So it gives you a clue there at the end there with the volunteer state. So if you got that at least gives you half of it, but then the other half has to do with being the Greek gods.
Can
and
I
all
get a
that.
hint on this
You
one?
can. Who would you like to talk to? Dan, Paul, or Don?
Paul.
Paul, how can you assist Sydney?
How can I assist?
Remember, she's looking
this
more
is a
so for
tough
that
one.
second name.
Yeah,
This
so
is a tough one.
there's a pickup truck that Nissan makes, and it's really big. And if you at all were a fan of wrestling, it's produced out of some towers in New York City. Nope, we're getting nowhere on that one.
Ooh.
No.
I'll give you one more opportunity.
Let's see,
Anything
one more
else?
shot.
You're so helpful.
We're gonna go complete. Forget everything we've talked about so far.
Perfect.
Wipe it clean. Nothing.
Go
We
ahead.
want to, instead of loosening this, we want to do something else.
Oh, ho, ho.
Yeah! Yeah!
All right, moving on.
Dumb it down. I like it.
Here we go. Yeah, exactly. That was a good hint.
Paul's had to deal with Dan and I for many years, so dumbing it down has become very easy.
What I gotta do.
Exactly. All right, here's your next one. Gandalf the Grey, the great and powerful Oz, and Merlin might all be found levitating to a 30-inch vertical on this DC team. So what are all 3 of those gentlemen? What is their profession?
Wizards?
Yes, that is correct. The Washington Wizards. Yes. All right, here is your next one.
This Newark hockey team has been the perpetual villain, from Paradise Lost to Rosemary's Baby. At least their pointed tails and pitchforks don't hinder them from skating.
Pointed tails
Pitchforks.
and pitchforks. Pointed devils.
Yes, the Devils. That is correct. The New Jersey Devils. Yes. All right, here's your next one. Johnny Depp led these scallywags out of the Caribbean Sea and down the Allegheny River to play baseball in western Pennsylvania.
Hook.
The Hooksa.
I think it's worth noting there are some visual cues being
It's okay. No.
You want to hear it one more time?
Yeah, can you say it one more time?
So Johnny Depp led these scallywags out of the
Yes.
Caribbean Sea and down the Allegheny River to play baseball in western Pennsylvania. So when you think of Johnny Depp and you think of some scallywags, usually he's associated. Yes, the Pirates.
Might even be Allegheny.
Allegation, I don't know.
Allegheny?
The Aegean Sea.
I love the spelling of Allegheny.
It's Allegheny once you know what it's supposed to be.
Maybe that's
I was just going
Allegheny.
to ask who they are.
Terrible. All right, here's your next one.
Silent erg.
In Dungeons & Dragons, the fighter and the paladin are part of this physical combat base class that also shoots hoops in California. I'm getting a blank look here.
Big Dungeons & Dragons fan. Big Dungeons & Dragons fan.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons, yes. So if you think about it, the fighters and paladins, like those are usually some type of fighter, but there's a different word for it usually.
Oh, can I ask the cat? Warriors!
Yeah, there it is. Wow.
That cat was very, very
Amazing.
helpful. Wow.
Holy cow.
It just came to my mind.
That's a talent right there. That's a talent. Amazing. All right, here's your next one. Minnesota Nice doesn't apply to these sea-born martyrs that not only tackle their opponents but also burn down their villages for glory of Odin. That's who he is. For the glory of Odin. I know how to read.
Just not finish your sentence.
Yeah.
Can you say it one more time?
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you. I need to re-say that anyway. Minnesota Nice doesn't apply to these sea-born marauders that not only tackle their opponents but also burn down their villages for the glory of Odin.
Vikings?
Yes, that is correct. Here is your final clue.
Aragorn, Arthur, Joffrey, and Mufasa are starters for this Southern California hockey team.
Once again, a job profession for all four of these gentlemen. Talk about guys like Arthur and Mufasa.
Arthur and Mufasa.
Aragorn, if you read that series.
Mufasa,
Dragons,
don't go
I don't know.
Lions.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, because of the location. That they're definitely, it's not the Lions, just to give you that, because we're in California for this team. But all four of these gentlemen share the same profession. Very notable. Probably don't have to pay for anything either because they're so... Any ideas at all? No? The Kings. That's what we were looking for.
Okay.
The Kings. Mufasa, King Arthur, all of that. The L.A. Kings. Game Master Scheibe, how did Sydney do on our quiz?
Sydney got 7 out of 8 correct.
Hey!
She's the winner.
Congratulations, Sydney. Thank you so much for playing. Hey, panel, some more questions for you wonderful gentlemen. Paul, we'll start with... Yes, exactly.
Well, and we need questions, too, because right now I'm tied with the cat, so...
Horrible scallywags.
Paul, we will go to you first. Numerous world records were broken this week after a video from what trick shot group came out?
Oh boy.
You might be a little old for this, Paul.
I might
say
say
this.
wow. You didn't have to say for this. I just might be a little old.
In general, yeah. You look good, though.
Hey.
Got a nice tan.
Yeah, raccoon eyes today.
Yeah.
I need a clue, but I take a hint.
Okay.
Gotta get them in before anyone else does.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I will tell you this: it's 2 words, so that certainly does maybe help or not. But instead of this word looking for his car, he's doing something else. So if you remember the movie back in the day,
Oh boy.
they're like, "Blank, where's my car?"
Dude, where's my card?
Okay.
Dude, perfect.
Yes, there you go. Nicely done. Some of the shots included the longest behind the back shot, longest blindfolded shot, and concluded with a 500-foot shot made off of a skyscraper. Just another day at the office, you know.
Dan, the next one's for you. Magic Johnson used to own a chain of movie theaters back in the 90s. He also had a very musical and loyal customer who would throw pajama parties at his theater. Who was that notable musical figure?
So wish I could have been at these.
The late, great purple one, that would be Prince.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. Magic recalled a specific story when he was on Jimmy Kimmel Live recently. He said he brings this big bus full of people. Jimmy, they get off. They're all in pajamas. He said Prince's late-night pajama party, watch parties became a recurring event for Magic, and he said he was always happy to oblige. I mean, come on, it's Prince after all. What do you can't tell him no. He's royalty.
Such a great musician, but also he sounds like the most fun guy ever. So
He
we
really
have
does.
basketball games and pancakes, movie theaters with pajama parties. I mean, what more could you want out of someone to hang out with than a guy like Prince? He
Exactly.
just seems like
Exactly.
the best guy ever.
He seems like such a man of the
Knocking on
people.
doors on Saturday mornings for Jehovah's.
I'm
You have
shorter
5
than
minutes?
Dan would feel tall next to it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Hey, there we go.
That is true. He did say he could beat Magic Johnson in a one-on-one basketball game, too, and Magic was like, meh. And a side note, though, too, Jimmy Kimmel asked Magic Johnson, he said, hey, so do you when you play one-on-one or whatever, do you let people win, especially your daughter who's in high school? And he said, hey, if we play to 10, I let her get to 9, and then I beat her, basically. He's like, then I start to play, and then I just completely destroy her to make her feel good about herself.
That's what Dan's going to feel today.
When he's going to feel good about himself.
Hey, I passed the cat, so I'm in better shape now.
Exactly. All right, Don, question for you. Speaking of basketball, LSU basketball product Ben Simmons is really, 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 really hoping he gets drafted by the LA Lakers in the upcoming draft. Not because of the team's history, though, but because it will help him do what instead? I feel like Paul knows. Do you know this?
I have a guess on this one.
Oh.
I will need a clue.
You will need a clue.
Yes.
Okay. Nike and Adidas are combating for him right now, and we've all heard about Air Jordans. So
And what was the question again? I'm sorry.
So he wants to be drafted to the Lakers not because he wants to play for them, but because he wants something else altogether.
For the promotional opportunity sponsorship?
Yes, basically. Yeah, he wants to land a larger shoe deal with Nike because they said that if he's the first overall pick, they will give him more money, and he realizes, and he was hoping the Lakers would get the first overall pick. They did not get it. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Anyway, I don't know. My speaker's got a mind of its own. Anyway.
I'm going to do the same.
Yeah. The Philadelphia 76ers actually did get the first overall pick in the draft, so we will see what happens with that. But there is also a clause that says if Simmons is drafted number 1 overall to the 76ers, he will have to pay Nike and Adidas at least the $10 million they are willing to play because he plays for Philadelphia. So I don't know why anybody would want a shoe deal.
This from a guy who couldn't even get his team into the NCAA tournament.
I really don't understand what's so great about him. I've never seen anything. I've been like, Ben Simmons, he's a legend. No.
Saw him play once and saw him lose to Marquette. That's all I know about him.
Boom. Go Fly War Eagle? That's not it. Go Golden Eagles. That's what it is. I don't know. That was Auburn, I think. I don't know.
Well, it's time for another break. But before we do that, I should note that Paul got an additional point because he gave a successful hint in our fantasy sports game.
Nicely done.
As did the cat.
That's very
Jack.
true.
Well done.
I'll make sure to mark that down.
Cat's asleep, too. It's still winning.
The cat and I are a team, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Oh, that's good to know.
Points. Perfect.
Well, we'll be right back, and our panelists will have another chance to answer some questions about this week's sports news. Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz.
Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. If you enjoy listening to What's the Score, why not go and donate to our Patreon account today? That's patreon.com. Search for What's the Score and donate today. You can get awesome t-shirts, before the show shout-outs, and so much more. Tell your friends about us. Hey, if you donate, we'd be happy to give you a shout-out and even have you come on the show and play a game or two with us as well. Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Want to take a moment to let all of you know that if you enjoy listening to What's the Score, you can find us on thesportsquotient.com. Go and check out thesportsquotient.com. Check out and see how you stack up against the rest of the sports world by taking one of their S quizzes. You can also check out the Fantasy Guru section, and for those of you stat geeks out there, they've got plenty of things for you. Plus, check out all the other great content that they have on their podcast section, like this very show right here, What's the Score?
Two Up Front is the official soccer show of Sports Radio America. Join your host Baxter Colburn and Simon Provan on Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern as they cover all things American soccer, with weekly guests from the pro, college, and youth ranks and digging deep into the American professional leagues. Two Up Front gives you the insight you're looking for. Airing Fridays at 2 p.m. Eastern on Sports Radio America, Two Up Front, the world's game from an American perspective.
Welcome back to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. And thanks for listening in. We're broadcasting from the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe, and we're playing this week with Paul Junio, Don Wadewitz, and Dan Pfeifer. And here once again is your host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Just want to remind all of you that if you want to listen to the show on demand, you can get it on Spreaker, iTunes, and Stitcher, along with the Sports Podcasting Network as well. Time now for our last slate of questions for our panelists this week.
Paul, the first one is for you. A new movement is starting to gain ground in the NFL in regards to Aaron Rodgers. What are some people trying to have outlawed regarding Rogers.
Oh, yes. This was like Don from West Bend. That must run with the name. I don't know. Somebody whining to the newspaper about the hard count.
Yes.
People offside.
That is correct. A couple of tweets about this that I thought were fantastic. One of them said, Aaron Rodgers is so damn good with the hard count that I jumped off sides on my couch. Another one, Aaron Rodgers' hard count could make a deaf man jump off sides. And my favorite one, Aaron Rodgers could hard count his way out of jail. Just to name a few. People were so excited. And so, I mean, I understand. If you're a Packers fan, you love it. You live for the hard count of Aaron Rodgers. And you think by now, he's been doing it for a couple years. It'd be like, just watch the ball. Isn't that like rule number one as a defensive player? You watch the ball, you wait for the snap?
No excuse for the nose tackle to jump offside. It's
exactly.
Right in front of him.
All right, Dan, question for you. Golden State Warriors star Draymond Green shed some light on how he learns to improve his game in the NBA. Where does Green find motivation for his playmaking abilities?
Another NBA question, and we know the history of me and NBA questions on this show. I mean, can I get a hint?
He probably watches footage of Lisa Leslie and Cheryl Spark or Cheryl Swoops. Is it Cheryl Swoops? I think Swoops.
There you go. That's right. He did mention that he actually believes the fundamentals are better, not in the NBA, but in the WNBA.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. Green said, in the NBA, there is always a guy who is around only because he can jump. He said he doesn't have a clue about the fundamentals, but as I learned from the WNBA, they know how to dribble, how to pivot, and how to use the shot fake as well. I mean, you watch some of those ladies, similar to the NWSL, too, for women's soccer. They had to work one in there for you, Don. And he's done. He's done. All right. It wasn't a question,
Get his question in quick while Lisa had...
Exactly, quick. Oh, Don, he does have the last question. But it's interesting, too. The fundamental side of it is a lot more interesting.
I wouldn't make either league.
You wouldn't?
I can't jump, and I don't have fundamentals.
Can you pivot, though? Got a mean pivot.
I mean, only because I have a lot of girth.
Hey, you got to back your way down the lane somehow.
All right, Don.
Awkward silence.
The last one here is for you. We're going to move on really quickly here.
I didn't think so, but apparently it is. I don't know.
Don, Nick Saban is a tremendous coach. It's no secret that he's also a fantastic recruiter. This week we found out about a player that he sent an offer to. There's something very interesting about this player. What is it?
He has a mole on his... No. I'll need a hint.
You'll need a hint.
Yes.
Well, he's really excited to see all of the seniors, and maybe he might go to homecoming because that's about how old he'll be next year. Hopefully he doesn't get lost on his way to his first period because he's not used to being in a school with so many people.
So he's not yet in high school?
That is correct. He's in 8th grade. He is in 8th grade. The Crimson Tide aren't the only ones that have interest in the man. He is 6 foot 195 as an 8th grader, and he is from Florida. Ooh, go Florida. He's also got offers from Iowa State, Michigan State, NC State, and West Virginia. He's only in 8th grade, so it's just verbal talks right now, but apparently Saban, of course, has found a way around the rules.
So, any recruiting visits for your unborn child yet?
Yes,
I think that's what it's
we've already had a homegrown claim put on it if it is a boy for Jurgen Klinsmann for the national team, and Mike McCarthy was here yesterday as well. It was a nice visit. You know, signed him all right. He's going straight to the pros. He's just going to skip high school and college.
Well, folks, it's time for me to break up the fun once again. But when we come back, our final contestant will play another one of our new games. Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz.
Hey everyone, this is Baxter. Just want to take a minute to thank one of our sponsors of What's the Score, Sports Radio America. Go and check out sportsradioamerica.com today and find all the greatest shows that you and your friends should be listening to if you're not already. Listen to the College Credit Hour, Sunday Gridiron, Major League Diamond, Two Up Front, and What's the Score. You can find What's the Score on sportsradioamerica.com and on the TuneIn app by listening to them on Mondays and Wednesdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Sports Radio America, one of the official sponsors of What's the Score. Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz.
And I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
If you think you are smart enough, or smarter than a fifth grader, and want to play our games on air, you can either come by the studio or you can call us, but there's a few different ways you can get a hold of us.
If you'd like to email us, you can do so at wtsportsquiz@gmail.com.
Or for you social media savants, head over to Facebook, What's the Score, the sports news quiz, or Twitter, WTS Sports Quiz. Now back to the action with myself and Josh Scheibe.
Welcome back, everyone. This is What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. Our Name 5 Panelist Showdown is coming up, but first we have a new game called Hey, that's my name too.
Oh, hey.
Here to get the game going is your host at the BLC Studios here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Don, do you need a moment? Are you going to be okay?
Baxter, do you need a moment? Remember, you did invite the three of us.
I did. You said yes, though, at the end of the day. You could have said no. Just say no.
Okay, next time we'll just say no.
Okay, no, it's fine. No, we really are glad you guys did it.
Grandmaster Scheibe can say it for us.
Say what? Sorry, I was kind of zoned out for a second.
Oh, right.
Close. No.
There you go.
Perfect.
That was what I'd be...
I'll take a bow.
Anyway... If you want to play our games or just, be a part of this madness or even just listen to the shows.
I don't know why you would,
I don't
but
know
hey.
either. They don't pay us enough to do this, so wait. We pay ourselves. Anyway, now you can visit our website, WTSSportsQuiz@gmail.com. Wow.
Bribery.
Don's bribing the game master.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
$4 just suddenly appeared in front of my face. All right, time now to welcome in our next contestant. Playing our final game is Gil Hogan. Welcome to the show, Gil.
Hey. All right, Gil, you are going to be playing our game, as we mentioned, that's called Hey, That's My Name, too. There really are so many mascot names. There really are only so many mascot names in professional sports that can, before you start really repeating each other. So we decided to put a game together that there's some different teams and different sports leagues that share a common name.
In this game, we'll give you the mascot name, and you must tell us the two leagues teams with that mascot hail from. Correctly answer 3 out of these 5 questions, and you'll win What's the Score prize. If you need help, you can ask one panelist for a hint on only one question.
Game Master Scheibe, can you give Gil an example, please?
Certainly I can. If we asked what 2 leagues have teams with the name Jets, it would be the NFL and the NHL.
The Winnipeg Jets and the New York Jets. Fair enough? Yep. All right, here is your first one. What 2 leagues have teams with the name Rangers in them? Remember, it's only the big 4, too, so NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB.
I have to go with the NHL and the MLB.
That is correct. Nicely done. The Texas Rangers and the New York Rangers as well. Here is your next one.
What 2 leagues have teams with the name Cardinals?
Oh, well, you thought about it. Thinking about it.
I know one of them's the MLB.
That is correct, yes, the St. Louis Cardinals. And then the other one...
I think I'd have to go with the NHL again.
No, that is incorrect. The NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, NFL team, the NFL team. Yes, and now the St. Louis Cardinals are back, but in a different sport. You are old. Get out of here, Jeff. What are you doing?
Used to be the Chicago Cardinals.
Used to be the...
Don's really old.
Used to be the Racine Street Cardinals.
Oh, my gosh.
You want to go all the way back to the roots.
All right, here's your next one, Gil.
What 2 leagues have teams with the name Panthers?
Oh, I'm gonna need a hint with this one.
Okay, who would you like to ask for a hint? Dan, Don,
Dan.
or Paul? Dan.
Boo. The easy one.
The easy one.
Sounds like a personal statement. Anyhow, you are going to want to pick from the 4 sports leagues that have been offered up the 2 that tend to play on the coldest surfaces. I hope that's helpful.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. So the 2 sports leagues that play on the coldest surfaces. Surface-I? Surfaces? Surfaces?
Surfaces.
Surface-I sound better.
The NHL and the NFL?
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done.
I would have gone with the two sports that don't require a round ball.
Oh,
there you go.
That is true, unless it's deflated. Ooh.
Oh, wait. Then you could...
Hey, yeah, the NFL, the Carolina Panthers, and the Florida Panthers in the NHL. All right, here's your next one.
Football's blue, then?
Let's just move on.
What two leagues have teams with the name Kings in them? With Kings in them.
Well, I know from the last one that the NBA?
Yes,
option?
that is one of them. Yep, the
NBA.
Sacramento Kings. And then there's one more. Actually, no, you
That was
flipped
a
it.
hint.
That was actually
That was
a hint.
a
You
great
flipped
hint.
You actually flipped yourself.
I flipped myself?
You did, because you said you went with the NBA instead of a different league. So technically, you still know the answer. I think you don't necessarily know if you know the answer, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Shoot.
He knows, but he doesn't know that he
You
knows.
gave yourself the wrong answer.
hint,
Yeah.
Baxter.
He gave
You
his
were
hint.
correct, but it was the wrong answer.
Yes.
Can you actually do a flip and flip yourself? Maybe that'll help. John.
Yeah.
I
Shit.
might break something, unfortunately.
It's all right. It would be in a better way than these two were tagged.
Okay. The left arm has never been the same. So anyway, so you already have one of them. You got the NBA team. You've got the Sacramento Kings. But there's the one other team though, which I think you were trying to go for before, but then you said you put a different one.
The
Stop trying to
MLB?
help him, Baxter.
Oh,
Stop
no.
trying to help.
I'm just trying to make sure he knows where he's going. Which one? Did you say something? You say something?
So I'd actually really go with the NHL.
Yes, that's also true. The LA Kings from the NHL and the Sacramento Kings from the NBA. All right, here is your final one.
What two leagues have teams with the name Giants?
Oh, the New York Giants.
Yep.
For baseball. And then...
Try that again.
Oh, sorry. For football.
There you go.
Sorry.
Correct and wrong.
He did it again. He did it again.
Folks, he's literally
Either that or he's
standing on his
older
head.
than I am, and he still remembers the New York Giants.
And I don't know where the other one is, but the other one is baseball.
Yes, that is correct. The San Francisco Giants.
I have the answers in front of me for that game, and I'm still confused about what just happened there.
I
We like to
think
keep
you
you
won. I don't know.
confused.
Game Master Shivey, how did Gil do?
Gil got 4 out of 5 correct. He's a winner.
Yeah. Nicely done, Gil. Thanks so much for playing.
All right, the moment you've all been waiting for is almost here. Stick around and listen to our panelists duke it out on the Name 5 Panelist Showdown coming up right after the break. You're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. Hello all, I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master here at What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. Thanks for listening in. I may not know much about sports, but what I do know about are our social media pages. Check us out on Facebook at What's the Score, or Twitter and Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everyone, this is Baxter. Do you enjoy taking a sports news quiz? Well, I understand, of course, you like What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz, but we encourage you to go check out one of our other sponsors, thesportsquotient.com. Go and check out the Sports Quotient and play one of their S-quizzes. You can test your sports knowledge about anything doing with sports, and even check out the great articles and content they have on their website as well. Thesportsquotient.com. That's quotient with a Q. Sportsquotient.com, and check out What's the Score on their network of podcasts as well.
Hi everyone, I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
And I'm your host, Baxter Colburn.
Hey, if you think the show is worth at least $1, why don't you go to our Patreon account?
We'd be very grateful if you donate to the show. That's how people like Josh and I stay employed, or pretend to be employed at least. Thank you so much for listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. And now, back to more sports trivia action.
I hope my check's in the mail. Hello and welcome back. Thanks for listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. Our panelists have been warming up for their final showdown. The cat's been running laps, and so have the other guys. While they get ready, here's your host at the BLC Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. We've had a great show so far. Just a reminder, this is our spring finale. We are going to be off for a couple weeks. We'll be back again June 12th right here at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Spreaker.com. With all that being said, Game Master Scheibe, what time is it?
It's time for the Name 5 Panelist Showdown!
Woo! All right.
These
Game
guys
Master
are going to be
Scheibe.
the Joey Bags to my Rugness odor.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
It's going to stink.
You gonna?
He's talking about the fight last week, I think. It's hard to tell with Don what he's ever talking about.
Nah, it's amazing he's still in broadcasting. Sign language, Don, the rest of the show. All right, Game Master Scheibe, can you explain the game for us?
Our panelists will be given 4 topics in which they will have 10 seconds to name 5 people, teams, places, or things related to the sports world. Each panelist will have the same category. However, they cannot repeat answers. 1 point is awarded for each correct answer.
Game Master Scheibe, can you give us the scores, please?
I can. Don has 3 points, and Dan and Paul are tied at 4.
Oh, all right. All right, Don, you will be leading things off for us. Round number 1, you will be naming 5 former NFL quarterbacks. 10 seconds, and begin.
Johnny Manziel, Anthony Dilweg,
That's true.
Brett Favre,
Yeah.
Joe Montana, Joe Namath.
Did you get the last one? Yes, you did. You got all 5. Nicely done. All right, Paul, you are next. 10 seconds, and begin.
Oh, 5.
Sorry.
Marino, Dan Marino,
Yep.
Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Jim Delgazo, Scott Hunter, and Jerry Tag.
Holy cow. Going way back in the archives.
Can we check those?
Yeah, can we go?
to New
Can somebody
York? I wanna
Wikipedia
check
those names, please?
I'll bring the 1974 Packer yearbook. We'll be all set.
There you go. All right, Dan, 10 seconds and begin.
Bart Starr, Joe Namath, Johnny Unitas, Norm Van Brocklin.
Bart Starr was said, by the way.
Let's see here. Steve Young and Troy Aikman.
There you go. He got 5. Either way, he still got 5.
Are you
Namath
writing
was
down
said, not
names?
Star. Namath was
Why
said.
not?
But
Technically, it's not. Technically, it's not outlawed. I mean, it's a better show of skill if you don't have to write them down. But it's up to
Yeah,
you.
that's what I'm talking about.
Doug Russell did it once, and all of a sudden, everybody thinks they can be like Doug Russell. All right, here is round number 2.
I'm bald.
Oh, that's true. You got more hair than Doug.
Yeah,
Doug's
I do.
got like you can see your reflection in Doug's head, basically.
Depends what angle.
That's true. Oh, look at that. Oh, I got something in my teeth. All right. Anyway. All right, Paul, round number 2, you're going to be leading us off with 5 current MLB pitchers. 5 current MLB pitchers. 10 seconds and begin.
Clayton Kershaw, Chase Anderson, Noah Syndergaard, Joel Verlander, Zach Greinke.
Yeah, he got 4. He only got 4, Game Master Scheibe says. All right, nicely done. All right, Dan, 10 seconds and begin.
Felix Hernandez, Zach Davies, Zach Greinke. Let's see here. CC Sabathia.
Yep, he's still around. You got 4. All right, nicely done.
We're setting up for the tie, Don. Come on.
All right, Don, 10
Pressure's on.
seconds and begin.
Strasburg, Jimmy Nelson, Guerra, Drew Smiley, and Arrieta.
Jake Arrieta,
Yeah.
No, he didn't get it. He thought. I think he just wanted the tie. That's all they're trying. They're trying to stay neck and neck. All right, Dan, that's who you are. We'll start with you on this one. You're going to be naming 5 current NBA players. And Don is immediately out, so you're
Don
fine.
just had a heart attack, I think, over there.
10 seconds and go.
Steph Curry, Kristaps Porzingis,
Go for the hard names. Gosh.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Exactly. Come on.
only got 10 seconds.
Takes you 10 seconds to say your name.
Dirk Nowitzki.
He got 4. If you wouldn't have gone for, Bramislav Kamadad and some of those other people, goodness. Over to you, Don. 10 seconds and begin.
So the Racine Raiders season starts June 11th, and I hope all of you will come out to historic Horlick Athletic Field this year. Find out more at racineraiders.com.
Shameless.
All right, perfect. Nicely done.
I think we figured out Don is shameless over the course of the show.
On that, yes.
All right, Paul, 10 seconds for you and begin.
Draymond Green, Tim Duncan. Wow, I don't follow the NBA enough, obviously. The team Cleaves.
You've
He
got
got
to be.
two. He got two.
I took the lead on an NBA question? What is wrong with this show?
You're welcome. I was setting you up. I was trying to get your mind ready for it with all those other questions. It was still lingering. All right, as we go into the final round, Game Master Scheibe, what are the scores?
Don has 12 points, Paul has 15, and Dan is in the lead with 17.
Interesting. Well, Don, you'll be leading us off. We're going to be, for this final round, remember, it's as many as you can. It's professional teams with red in the color. Professional teams with red in the color. 10 seconds.
Wait.
You have 10 seconds to yes, go ahead.
What do you mean by red in the
red,
color?
like in their color, like in their logo.
In their color scheme?
Yes.
Like it has to be red or like an offshoot of red?
Maroon is acceptable as
Cardinal?
well. Cardinal red,
Okay.
yes. Scarlet.
Racine Raiders.
Yes,
Professional.
Now, sometimes people say, just say it.
10 seconds, as many as you can, all right?
All right.
10 seconds, and begin.
Arizona Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals, Washington Redskins, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, he only got 4. All right, so what is Paul sitting at now in second place?
Paul has 15. He needs 2 to tie, 3 to win.
Or
as
many as
more
possible.
as
So you got to get at
as many
least
as
2 to
possible.
tie,
Yes.
of course. All right, here we go, 10 seconds, and begin, Paul.
I'm on red also.
Yes.
Washington Nationals, Washington Capitals, New York Rangers, Philadelphia Phillies, St. Louis Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco.
Both of those got said. The St. Louis and Arizona both got said. So
Racine Raiders.
Paul
Yes.
now has 19. Dan needs 2 to tie and 3 to win.
All right, 10 seconds, and
Don has left his chair
Don
and
is
standing over
hovering
me.
over Dan's
the
shoulder.
pressure, Dan. All right, 10 seconds, go.
The Cincinnati Reds, the Boston Red Sox, the Houston Texans, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Kansas City Chiefs. My microphone is being assaulted. I don't know if any of those were named or not.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think he got it. He got it at 5.
You got 5.
Oh, okay, Game Master Scheibe. What did we end up with at the end of this?
The final scores, and Don is still trying to bribe me. Don has 16 points.
Just give him 4 points.
Paul has 19, and Dan is the winner with 22 points.
Congratulations, Dan. So, Dan, you continue to dominate. Now you will move, I believe it's 4 points clear now of second place. So you're still sitting high atop the leaderboard. You took a month and a half off. Nobody could catch you. Nick Zurich got close, but he could not overtake the great Pfeiffer.
Well, and Nick is very knowledgeable with sports. I'm stunned today because Paul sometimes is a producer / engineer / everyman for my high school broadcast, and he's the one who feeds me the information, has the rule interpretations and all of that. So I came in today thinking it was going to be Paul, Dan, and Don a distant third. So I'm a little surprised that I topped Paul, but at least I got one part of the prediction right. So
I'm not the one that's used to speaking into the microphone. I just get to talk off mic.
That's true. It's
all
so
the
much
adjustments,
easier
but
when the headset's not on. You're like, I know English.
After all, I'm the one that did once nod yes when Don asked me a question when I was on air for a very brief time, way back years ago.
Well, and I know Dan's ego is fragile, and he needs something to clasp onto just to go through life on a daily basis.
What's the score?
And be a little bit happy. And so if this is it, I'm a giving type of person, and I'm here.
appreciate that.
I want to be a supportive friend or frenemy, whatever it may
Frenemy,
be.
yeah.
Frenemy.
And just
Frenemy.
kind of help support
Frenemy.
Dan just a little bit, so that I don't have to deal with all of his bickering and complaining on a daily basis.
Such a generous man you are.
Yeah, Don.
Anything else you want to say? I mean, we've got a couple minutes.
I need some boots. Just saying.
Anyway, well, Paul, thank you so much for being on the panel.
Thanks
this
for having
week
me
as
back.
well,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Hope to have you back
Hopefully
again.
tear things down too badly.
No, you did a good job. Don, now that you've played another one, you are now officially not in last place anymore in our official standings. I know.
Can I donate my points to the cat?
You can, but you
because
still...
we were a team.
You were, well, then technically...
We were a team.
I think you got 1 extra point. I don't think that would have helped
Well,
you.
no, but the cat gets my points
So the
for
cat, you think,
participating
okay.
today.
If you can get a picture with the cat with the headset on, we'll make it happen.
Sweet. Challenge
If you
accepted.
can do that, I will find a way. We'll make it happen on the website. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. What's the Score has been a production of the Sports Podcasting Network. Thank you to all of our contestants and studio audience here at the BLC Studios. Our panelists this week have been Dan Pfeiffer, Paul Junio, and Don Wadewitz.
Thank you, Baxter Cauliflower Burn.
You're welcome, Asparagus Wadewitz. Our social
try.
media staff is comprised. It doesn't work as well. Our social media staff is comprised of Emily Reister, Brittany Peterson, and Christian Gill. Our theme was composed by Danny Hoffenstein. Our media producer is Eric Condia. Our sound engineer is Kurt Colburn. And our show producer and executive director of What's the Score, scratching it up, making it flare, it's DJ Liz, now my beautiful wife, Liz Colburn.
I've been your game master, Josh Scheibe.
And I've been your host, Baxter Colburn. School's out for the summer. We'll see you again June 12th. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on What's the Score?